In one of the largest gas plants in the United States, the leadership was looking to increase engagement and communication. There was a sense that teams were not communicating with the leadership. With commissioning looming only months away, something needed to be done.
My team and I were brought in to assess the gaps and identify potential solutions.
After extensive interviews with leadership and operations personnel, we discovered something truly interesting. Both leadership and staff agreed on the communication gap and what needed to be done to resolve it.
What made this truly interesting is that both groups were in agreement, but had, in fact, never discussed it as a team. We asked operations and leadership to develop a list of possible solutions, and again, there was complete alignment.
So, where was the disconnect?
Through the organic growth in so many organizations, a slow creep of not communicating crept into the organizational culture.
Operations knew what needed to be done and wanted their leadership to tell them as much.
Leaders knew what they wanted to do, but for a number of reasons they never really communicated those expectations.
The organization was also very hierarchical and siloed, with very poor lines of dialogue either up or down the structure or across it. In this one area, we focused on what should be in the daily reports. What sorts of metrics and KPIs should be tracked and reported on, when those reports should be submitted, and by whom.
An agreement was reached around posting those results in the Operations Center for all to see. In other words, full transparency and accountability.
The operations team did brilliantly and faithfully installed this new process. Daily reports and graphs were installed in the Ops Center, and in very short order, performance took a noticeable spike. What was missing was that this was still being lost on the leadership.
Even though superintendents and managers were mere feet away from the Ops Center, they never entered that room.
Strange as that may sound, it was, in fact, a reflection of a culture that believed the higher you go in an organization, the less you have to deal with people.
Of course, nothing could be further from the truth.
We walked leadership through short coaching meetings and encouraged them to go into the Ops Center, look at the graphs, they were getting the reports by email, and write questions or comments on the graphs posted.
They did not believe this would have an impact, so we designed a little experiment.
We timed how long it took for word to get out to the operations crews that one of the bosses had commented on performance on the graphs.
Even though crews were distributed around a huge plant, it took less than 15 minutes for the word to get out without a push from us.
All it took was creating the habits of communicating expectations, reviewing results, and giving feedback. The net result was performance climbing by double digits, and the commissioning went off without a hitch.